You are now listening to the Voice of Reason podcast with your host, the big guy, Joe, and your co-host, Lito.
Welcome to episode 27 of the Voice of Reason podcast. As usual, this is Joe.
And this is Lito.
And we're back with everything you need to know about the National Basketball Association.
We are literally back.
Now, this is actually the COVID edition because we're actually sitting here doing this podcast in masks, 6 feet apart. So we want to let all of you cool cats and kittens out there know. That's right. We also watch Tiger King.
We watch a lot of things during COVID.
That was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
But no, we're actually doing the right thing. So, for everybody out there who doesn't want the plague, wear your mask.
That's
Be
right.
like us.
That's right.
We're role models, Lito. How's that make you feel?
I love it.
Now, this is actually our first podcast since February, or March possibly when we posted it, when we did our whole Kobe Bryant tribute.
That was our last one?
That was our last one. And I still haven't actually listened to that one yet. That's the only podcast that we've done together I've actually listened to.
What a year it has been.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just been horrible. It's been horrible.
It was pretty horrible before that, too.
Well, before that too. But it's just been horrible year from start. Hopefully not to finish, but go ahead.
Well, it's good to be back with you, Lito. And speaking about this whole COVID thing, and the NBA restart, I'm still not completely sure how this is going to go down or if they're going to make it through to the end of the season. But they seem determined. What do you think?
Well, it's starting on July, 30th? It's starting right now. So it's going to happen, but...
Well, it's going to happen, but the question is, are they going to finish? Like, what do you think that it's going to take for them to be able to finish the season or for them to decide to stop playing? Like, how many positive tests inside that bubble?
I don't know. It's risky, man. Like, Adam Silver, he is in another level right now. Like, he's taking a big risk. Something that Mr. McMahon and Tony Khan has done with the wrestling, continual wrestling. This is a risk, a new territory for the actual sport in general, and he's taking that first leap, and let's see what happens. I'm proud of the NBA for taking this, but honestly, I feel like every sport should not be played this year. But you know me, I love basketball, so I'm greedy, and I miss it, and I wanted to do it. And the players, they agreed to it. So, whatever, let's get this show going, Yeah,
I don't think the players are very thrilled about it. And that would be fine if basketball decided not to finish the season, too.
But they could have opted out, though.
Yeah, they could have and lost all that money.
Yeah. LeBron ain't opting out, though.
Yeah, he just wants the championship. He don't care how he gets it. He will run over your COVID-ridden body that's laying on the court, and he will step on your face to get this championship.
Can you blame him, though?
I mean, it's LeBron James, of course not. Like COVID's going to kill LeBron. Come on, now.
Time is ticking for him. Yeah.
Like, COVID's scared LeBron.
Yeah.
But another big focus in Orlando is the whole Black Lives Matter movement. Now, since we've been gone, there has been a lot that's happened that's made the country start to pay attention a little bit to what's going on with black people being killed in the street. Such as, Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. So they're doing a lot in Orlando, or at least they're trying to bring attention to it. But one interesting thing about this, I'm not sure if you've heard, but Kyrie Irving was one of the players who was kind of leading the movement not to go to Orlando.
Of course.
Because he felt like it would take attention from the social justice issues that they're trying to fight for. So, how do you feel about that, Lito? You think Kyrie was right?
I think Kyrie wouldn't be saying that if he was healthy.
Finally!
And I love Kyrie. I love Kyrie.
Finally got you to say something bad about Uncle Drew.
But it's
everybody. Hold on. Wish I had balloons that come out the ceiling. But I should have put balloons out there for this. This is great. I'm sorry. Please continue.
But no, I like I said, I feel like if he was healthy, he wouldn't be saying that. If he had KD and they were fully healthy and they won that ring, they wouldn't be saying that. Like, he is just trying to... I feel like he's just trying to seek attention with this. And, I mean, maybe he does mean this, but I feel like it's just the diva in him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just
Kyrie's
trying to...
diva.
He is a diva.
He's definitely a diva.
But he's a great diva.
Is he? He's a great diva.
Yes, he is.
I thought that was the dumbest thing. Well, I can't say it's the dumbest thing he ever said. He said the earth was flat.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, I can never say that that's the dumbest thing Kyrie's ever said. Because he said some stupid shit.
Yeah.
So, but this is pretty dumb. Like, your whole reason why you have a platform is because you play professional basketball. Like, nobody's there to hear you sing. We're not there to watch you juggle. We're there to watch you play basketball. So if you want to bring attention to social justice issues, I think a great way to do that is in the NBA playoffs where everybody's eyes are on you and you're having interviews before and after the game and sports networks are talking about you every single day.
That's right.
That's how you bring attention to something like that. I just don't understand. Like, he's like a vice president of the Players Association. They elected him to this.
Yeah.
And he says stupid shit all the time. Not just the attention part of it, but also the money part of it. Like, you're going to get millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to play in this restart. If the social justice issues are that important to you, which I'm sure that they are, then you can donate that money. You know, like, why would you leave money on the table? Like, the movement needs money. I don't understand. I don't understand what he's thinking of.
Yeah.
And I used to. People say, like, reporters say that when they talk to Kyrie in the locker room or in interviews or whatever, that he's such of a smart person and engaging and all that stuff. But from someone on the outside, I don't see it. Because I feel like every time he talks, he says something stupid. That's just me going on the tangent. But I thought that was really stupid.
I'm not gonna call the man dumb. I'm not gonna call him dumb, but I'm calling him a diva. He wants attention right now.
Dumb diva.
Yeah. But I agree. We both agree. If he was healthy, he would be playing just like the rest of the players that agree to play.
He makes no damn sense. None whatsoever. I'm just gonna stop listening to Kyrie. I'm just gonna watch him play basketball.
Yeah.
Because I can't listen to him talk anymore. I don't get that.
Yeah.
But as far as the whole bubble situation, though, like, it seems like we see, like, the players down there seem to be having a good time. And
Hold on. Explain the bubble.
Explain the bubble?
The bubble.
I have to explain the bubble?
I know this is a basketball podcast. But for someone that is bored, because you never know, COVID, people are on quarantine still. Some, you know what I mean? But explain the bubble. Explain what the NBA did to proceed playing basketball.
Well, they're basically just trying to lock everybody into a campus in Disney World.
Oh, come on.
That's basically what it is.
So you're calling it prison?
It's not prison, but
Exactly.
it is a quarantine.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you leave the bubble, you can't come back to the bubble. If you come back, you got to quarantine 10 or 14 days or whatever it is.
But we're quarantining ourselves, right? I mean, we're in houses. We're not going to clubs. We're not going to movies. We're not going to malls.
You asked me to explain the bubble.
Oh, go ahead. I just don't want to.
I know what's happening here.
My bad. I don't want people thinking that they're going to prison. Because some players are saying, "Oh, this is going to be like prison or something." But go ahead.
Well, I mean, I understand why they feel that way, though. I mean, they're millionaires.
They're just privileged motherfuckers.
They really are. They're used to a certain lifestyle.
Right.
They're used to having certain things.
They earn that lifestyle.
People,
yeah.
with them at all times.
Right.
They're not going to have that in the bubble. That's basically what it is. It's a way for them to be able to restart the season. No fans. Everyone's going to be tested every single day. They're trying to keep things as locked down and secure as possible. They have a snitch line so that people aren't doing the right thing, like you and I right now wearing these masks.
Right.
Then, they can get snitched on. So
I just think let me just put my 2 cents. I want to say that the NBA league is amazing. Mm-hmm. What they did, stationing themselves in Orlando and basically organizing this college and prison type atmosphere that you're in campus, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And all the games are going to be played there. It's just great. Hopefully it works out great for them. Yeah. So I feel like it could be a 2-year run with this, man. I feel like
2 years of a bubble?
Yeah. I feel like because the Orlando, they basically cater to the NBA. They also cater, I don't know if you probably know, they also doing soccer, MLS. Mm-hmm. They're also playing there as well. They're catering to them. So I feel like if you invest that much money into that, it's not going to be a 1-year thing. It's probably a 2-year thing. I feel like the league is not gonna have fans for 2 years, which
Well,
is
maybe
weird.
not fans, but you can't quarantine players for 2 straight years.
Oh, no.
Like, they're not going to be in Orlando. They're going to...
But I feel like the schedule, it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
Maybe less, maybe 40 games instead of 80.
I think Orlando is the wrong place to do this because right now Florida is off the hook with these whole coronavirus cases. Yeah. And I feel like it's easy. There's going to be a lot of people in that bubble. There's going to be people in and out of the bubble. So it's going to be easy for coronavirus to find its way in there for them to start a whole epidemic. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, they did it for the sponsorship and, the whole ESPN Disney connection.
Right.
But they shouldn't have done it there, in my opinion. It's just Florida is off the hook right now with coronavirus.
Right.
It is out of control in Florida.
So now that the players are in the bubble, they just got in the bubble. I want your reaction onto these players that came to the bubble and that took this quarantine not to eat junk food, but to dedicate themselves and get their body right. LeBron always gets his body right, but other players.
Yeah, that afraid. James Harden. Yeah, that Joker.
Say his name.
His name is Joker.
Djokovic.
Yeah, he looks like Porzingis now. Like, I saw that picture of him, like that one picture when they first saw him getting slim. I was like, man, that's Porzingis?
Scary, man. It's going to be scary because, well, we got other players too. Who else? We got.
Well, hold on. Like, sticking on the Joker though, I don't think it's gonna be that scary. We can, but
let's talk about it.
I don't think Joker's gonna be that scary.
Why?
Because I think he lost too much weight. First of all, Joker is more of a finesse player. He doesn't really bang down low.
Exactly.
But now without that weight though, other centers in this league, Joel Embiid, is going to take him down low. He's going to get his ass kicked on the block. He looks too skinny. I think.
Cool. Can I reply to that? Because I'm a fan of
Denver.
I'm a fan of Djokovic. I'm a fan of Jamal Murray. I'm a fan of Michael Porter Jr. I'm a fan of this team.
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, they're coming.
He's still coming.
I feel like it's gonna be perfect for him. And I do get the post, aspect that he might.
And think about the Lakers.
But the thing with him is he's not Porzingis. He's Djokovic, meaning Djokovic can handle the ball. Like, he's a true point guard. When he was like a teenager, he was a point guard.
Yeah.
And him having that body type, I just think it's gonna be amazing to watch. You know what? We'll make our predictions later on during the show.
Yeah.
But let's just say I have Denver pretty far.
I got to disagree with you on that whole thing though, because
really?
I mean, Joker, he has a really good outside shot, obviously.
Right.
He has a lot of finesse. He has good handles for a big guy. But in the West, he
has a Euro step too. Imagine him Euro stepping this skinny now.
but in the West, you have teams like the Lakers who are really big up front. You got LeBron, you got Anthony Davis, you got Dwight Howard, you've got JaVale McGee, right? They're a pretty big team up front. And then you have Portland too.
Yeah.
Portland has their big guys back.
Nurkic.
For the first time this year.
Nurkic.
Yeah, they got Nurkic and they got Whiteside. They got that other guy, the forward, whose name I can never think of. But they've got a really big front line, And if you're trying to get through the playoffs, you play the Rockets. Come on, their tallest player is like 6'5". You're fine. But if you're trying to actually get deeper into the playoffs, he's going to need to bang down low. And he can't do that anymore.
Well, can we talk
and
about
he wasn't
Harden?
good at it before.
Can we talk about Harden
Please.
too? What do you think about Harden? Because he also lost a lot of weight. Do you think that's going to hurt him? Because I feel like his body type with all these other guards, I feel like he can get in there. Like, he was more like a bully type. I feel like now maybe he's still going to be a bully. Like, let's be honest. The lead ain't that physical anymore.
Well, I mean, his game isn't physicality anyway. His game is finesse. And I think him losing the weight is actually good for him because it helps with his stamina.
At the end.
That's a huge problem for him. It's been a huge problem for him in the playoffs, years past. And that's going to be pretty good for their team, though, because his usage rate is so high. And they've had like a 4-month layoff. It's like a new season pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really good for him and the Rockets, I think. But, yeah, I think it did the right thing by, getting a little fitter.
Well, moving on. Sure. We're in the bubble. All these teams are in the bubble. Let's talk about your number one team in that damn bubble.
Who's that?
That is your brotherly love.
The Philadelphia
76ers.
I like them.
And oh my God, I forgot his name. Brett Brown. It's been a while, guys.
Yeah, I want to forget his name.
It's
I
been
forget his damn name.
wow. We've been in quarantine.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been watching ESPN like that, so I'm forgetting people's name. Damn it. Let's talk about Brett Brown.
Talk about him.
Brett Brown just made a public stamp
Mm-hmm.
that your guy, my guy,
Our guy.
Ben Simmons
Uh-huh.
is going to be the starting power forward for your team,
Mm-hmm.
which means I am assuming Al Horford's coming off the bench, or he's playing center.
He's coming off the bench, but he's been coming off the bench for like the last part of the regular season anyway.
So
he
now,
was benched a while ago.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's coming off the bench, and we have Ben Simmons at the power forward.
Mm-hmm.
So who is the 76ers point guard now?
His name, and I want you to write this down.
School
I want
me.
you to write this down.
Because I don't know him. Who are you?
His name is Shake Milton.
Okay.
That's who he is.
So do you like what Brett Brown is doing by trying to save his job? Because he needs to go far this year. It's pretty obvious. Do you like this move? What do you think about this?
I think that Brett Brown should have been fired 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, as I always tell people, I think that Brett Brown should have been fired the season before Ben Simmons got drafted. Or like that summer when Ben Simmons got drafted, I believe that Brett Brown should have been fired. And that hasn't changed today. Now, what he's doing or what he's going to try by putting Ben Simmons at the power forward, I believe is pretty stupid. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, it's a point guard driven league, right? So we got point guards out there like Dame Dollar. It's about to be Dame time again. We got Ja Morant dunking on everybody. We got James Harden and Russell Westbrook who can both play the point. We got Kemba Walker,
Yeah.
Cardiac Kemba out there in the East, right?
Yep.
We got Victor Oladipo, who's he's a two guard, but he can play the little point guard too. We have a lot of really good,
Yep.
talented guards out there.
Jamal Murray.
Sure. And they're going to eat Shake Milton alive. What is Shake Milton going to do against those guys? What is he going to do? That's stupid. That's the first thing. Second thing is that we tried this last year in the playoffs. And I feel like no one remembers it because everybody's acting like this is some new, like brand new experiment or idea that Brett Brown's doing. But it's not. In the playoffs last year, Jimmy Butler was playing the point and Ben Simmons was playing the four. And you remember what happened while Ben Simmons was playing the four? Do you remember what happened last year, Lita?
Yeah, y'all got beat by the Claw.
We did.
Right.
We did. But the reason why we got beat by the Claw was because Ben Simmons completely disappeared offensively. Completely. Defensively, he was still playing well, at least in spells, but he was completely disengaged in the game offensively. The reason being is because what Ben Simmons does well has to be done from the point guard position.
Yeah.
And what I mean is, like, he's a really good defender. I mean, he might make I think he has a case to make first team All-NBA this year. That's how good his defense has been this year. So having that matchup against these other point guards who I named in the league, it just makes perfect sense. Also, his passing ability, his ball handling ability, his speed, and his quickness. He should be the one with the ball. Shake Milton is not ready to be a starting point guard in this league. That's stupid. I understand what Brett Brown is trying to do. He's trying to hide Ben Simmons' shooting deficiency. But that's just a really bullshit way to coach. You don't coach by hiding your players' weaknesses. You coach by putting them in a position to be able to maximize their strengths. Yeah. And he's not going to be able to do that from the floor. And the strength of this team is our defense. So if Brett Brown was like a living, breathing coach that actually had good ideas every once in a while, what I think he should do is he should actually start my guy, your guy, my guy, Matisse, the bully, at two guard. And yes, that does mean that you're not going to get very much scoring out of your backcourt, but Matisse can hit the three. He can stretch the floor. Right?
Yeah.
Have a little bit of a smaller lineup with Toby and Josh Richardson and Embiid, and then bring Al Horford off the bench, which I think is still a good idea. But that gives you like probably our best defensive lineup, especially in the backcourt. And offensively, we're pretty balanced because we want to get scoring from the three front court players and a little bit from Toby and from Ben on the break.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be a lineup for every single night because when you play the bigger teams, you're probably going to want to start Al Horford like against the Bucks or the Lakers or teams like that. But for most of these smaller teams, yeah, I think that's the lineup to play.
I'm gonna put my 2 cents on this because I like Ben Simmons.
Sure.
And I'm gonna repeat it. I've been saying this since episode. I gotta look at my papers. I believe I've been saying this for a while now. Trade Embiid.
Oh my God.
And have Ben Simmons run the show at the point.
Okay.
Get him shooters, and we good. All right, that's it. That's it. Y'all gotta run.
You do realize that nobody's on your page, right?
Yeah, I know.
People in the media
It's on
especially are actually
something.
agreeing with Ben Simmons moving to the 4, which I think is just stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you what I've been saying since. Hold on, let me look back. Let me look back to the very beginning of this podcast. That trading either one of these guys without trying a new coach would be pretty stupid. And if you are going to trade one of them, it should be Ben Simmons. That's a whole other conversation.
Oh, nah.
That's a whole other conversation. That's the type of conversation I'm willing to have.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that, like, we know that Brett Brown's a terrible coach. We know that he can't coach kindergartners. So why would you get rid of either one of the best players in the NBA, right? If you haven't tried to get them someone who can actually coach them. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
No sense at all. And I think anybody who does that is crazy, including you, sir.
So let's since we're talking about the Sixers and you're kind of complaining about what Brett Brown is doing and what's not gonna work, what's gonna work.
I'm not complaining about what he's doing. I'm complaining about Brett Brown. Like, I expect him to, every time he opens his mouth, say something stupid. He's like the Kyrie of coaches. So, like, I expect that, right? So whatever he says, whatever he coaches, like, it is what it is. It's going to be this way until they fire him. So what about your Phoenix Suns? They've gotten an invite to the bubble. So what do you think your chances are? How's that
You mean that
out?
petty invite that a couple other
It's still an invite. Y'all making money.
we're joining other teams.
Y'all getting paid?
We're joining the Wizards of the world. We're joining all these teams that got petty invites. I'm glad I'm gonna get Booker. How many games? Eight games
Yeah,
or 9?
8 games.
Yeah, 8. I'm gonna get to watch him. You know what I mean? But come on, let's be honest.
Y'all have the chance.
we're
Y'all
done.
3.5 games back with 8 games to go.
I mean, listen.
And I believe what it is that if you get within 3 games of the AC, then that's when they start have that little tournament.
Well, I'm gonna make a bold prediction right here.
Okay, right
if the
now.
Phoenix Suns make it to the playoff, Devin Booker is the cure for the corona. All right, we got to get his blood or something. He is the cure. All right,
He's the cure.
because he made it.
He's the cure. I like that.
He's the vaccine. He's everything. All right, but no, we're not gonna make it. Clearly, I'm still rocking with the Phoenix Suns. I'm gonna love seeing them. You know, maybe 2 games that they're gonna televise on TV. I don't know how many games they're gonna televise the Suns, but I'm gonna watch the ones that they do. But it's that 8 seed is gonna go to either, my opinion, Portland or Pelicans. But we're gonna talk about this. Actually, let's talk about it now, right?
Sure.
Because I got nothing to say about the Phoenix Suns. I'm gonna be happy seeing Devin Booker 8, and I think our team is healthy.
Yeah,
they should be.
Yeah,
So who knows? Actually, who knows? Ricky Rubio, the king, but who
anything's
knows?
possible.
But let's talk about the playoff. All right. What does it say? Win or go home. That's the slogan, right?
Pretty much. That's how
And
it works.
you want when you're in the playoff, you want home court advantage. Well, that's out the window. Everybody's
matter.
playing in the same
I kind of
court.
wish we did because the Sixers are great at home.
Yeah, I know. For y'all, it did matter, actually.
we're terrible on the
y'all had the
road.
best record in the league, home
We
court,
did.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, so let's talk about this. Who do you think is going to benefit the
From the
most?
restart?
Yeah, in the East and West with this new, one court atmosphere.
Well, what I think in general who benefits most from the restart in the East is the Sixers, because before the restart, Ben Simmons was hurt, and he wouldn't have come back until somewhere in the 2nd round, maybe the 3rd round, if we hadn't gotten that time off.
Oh, really?
So that I think the Sixers in the East are helped most by this restart. In the West, I think it's the Rockets, because like I was saying earlier in the podcast. Part of the reason why Harden can't get anywhere in the playoffs because his usage during the regular season is so high. He's playing like 30, 35, 38 minutes a game.
Yeah.
He's putting up 50 points every night. He's running up and down the court. By the time he gets to the playoffs, he has no legs. And now this leaner Harden, with so much time off, basically a new season, I think they have a shot. I'm not saying they're going to get to the finals, they're going to win, but they have a better shot now than they did when the season ended.
I'll give you, if Russ is back, if they make it if they pass the first round without Russ, and Russ gets back.
By the time they get to the playoffs, I think Russ could be back.
That's true.
You know,
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You know who my two teams in the East and West that I feel like benefit the most. In the East side, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the Celtics.
Why are they benefiting?
Because I feel like with all these teams.
Have you heard about Kemba though?
Huh?
Have you heard about Kemba?
Well, Kemba.
His knee.
I didn't hear about this. This is breaking news. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I just heard it, I think, yesterday or today. Like, he's been having a lot of issues with his knee. They're not sure about him for the restart.
Well, damn it. Well, my thing is, I'm going to pick two teams that I feel like they're the deepest. Mm-hmm. And I feel like because of this bubble atmosphere and they don't have to worry about home court, and I know they're young teams, but because of that, I feel like they're the threat. Team number one in the East, I feel like Celtics. They've been in core for a while, minus, Kemba and the other acquisition that they picked up that I can't remember. But Celtics.
I think Gordon Hayward. Something going on with Gordon Hayward, too.
Okay,
Gordon
know
Hayward.
what?
Hold on, no. You ain't going to come at my house.
No.
And talk about these damn
His
Celtics.
legs are good, all right?
No. Because Gordon Hayward is not sure if he's going to play. I still think that he hasn't joined the team yet, at this point as we're talking right now. So we don't even know if they're going to have Gordon Hayward either.
Well, let's talk about Tatum now. Tatum was
We're down to their third option. Yeah. Okay.
Well, the number one option.
He's their second option.
Well, he's the number one, it seems like, lately, all right?
Yeah.
Well, before the season was over, he was balling, and you know that. And I feel like Tatum is that guy, man. Like, remember, he has a little Kobe in him. Remember, Kobe was teaching him during the summer with the mid-range game, and people were criticizing him.
He has a lot of Kobe in him.
He has a lot of Kobe in him.
Good and bad.
But I don't see any bad. But anyway, I got to pick the Celtics in the East, and in the West, I got to pick the Denver Nuggets. I feel like this team, was it last year that it didn't make the playoff?
Well, no, last year
that was 2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago.
They got beat in the second round. It was Dame time.
Right.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago.
Both of your teams got Dame time.
2 years ago,
last year.
they had this epic game against Minnesota, and they didn't make it to the playoff.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Please don't call him Jimmy Buckets.
That's who he is.
Mind you, we haven't talked about the Heat. That's another team that's benefiting from this, too.
They're scary.
Yeah. But I feel like Denver... My goodness, I feel like Denver is going to make some noise in this bubble atmosphere.
Are they?
So, are we going to make our picks? And before we make our picks, all right, who's going to win in the East, the top, the East Finals and the West Finals, I want to know right now, Joe, whoever wins the championship, are they a worthy champion? Does it have an asterisk?
It depends on how it plays out. I can't answer that question.
You can't.
Now.
No.
Well, let me finish what I'm saying.
But it's clear. Asterisks or not. Asterisks or not.
Let me finish. Where's the T-shirt? Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So the reason why you can't determine it is because it depends. If the star players that you're going against don't get COVID, don't get the plague or whatever, then you're good. But if you're playing like a plague-ravaged team and you win the championship, then I'm not going to respect the championship as much.
Hold on.
I'm just not.
Hold on.
Unless it's the Sixers. If the Sixers win, this is 100% a championship that you will all respect for all time.
Hold on.
Sure.
You just said if key players get hurt.
No, I said it gets COVID. That's the whole different
COVID?
thing. Yeah,
COVID.
Not hurt. Injuries are different.
Basically, but it's same as injury-wise.
Not really.
Okay, but in the real world,
it's different.
Okay, it's different. But
it's different.
Hear me out here.
Okay.
I know a team that won a championship with their key players injured. That championship ain't an asterisk.
What are you talking about, last year?
No. Let me remind you, when the Golden State Warriors won their championship, Steph Curry, all the point guard he faced that round, each round, all the key players point guard were hurt.
Yeah.
There was I think it was Portland Blazers, no Damian Lillard. It was the OKC, no Russell Westbrook. It was something like that. And then in the West Finals, there was no Kyrie Irving. But no, it's a champion.
You're going too far back. You
is.
just look back to last year with Kawhi Leonard.
No. They earned that.
How they earned it when there was no Klay Thompson, there was no Kevin Durant, DeMarcus Cousins played for 20 minutes and got hurt.
We the nerve.
What are you talking about?
That.
You're not being consistent.
No,
I'm not talking about injuries. Injuries are different. It's a whole different plague riddled situation. It depends on how things play out in the bubble. I can't honestly tell you I'm going to respect the champion who's playing like, somebody else's entire bench because their team got some COVID breakout. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to respect that. However, what I will say is that history will respect it, because the further away you get from events like this, the less you remember what was going on, and you're just going to know that it was the Sixers who won the 2020 championship.
Oh my God.
So people aren't going to be looking at that so much in years to come. It's going to count just as much. It's not going to be an asterisk.
Well, for the record, to me, no matter what happens in the bubble,
It's
not an asterisk.
Okay.
All right, they're dealing with something that has never been dealt ever.
Gotcha.
And they're gonna compete with no fans.
No
home court advantage.
This
is a real champion.
There's one more thing I want to say too. It depends on if they play hard or not. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not convinced that these teams are going to play as hard as they normally would in the regular playoffs. I could be wrong about that. This is just my opinion. I'm not convinced of that. I need to see the games first. I need to see how they're playing.
Nah, man.
I'm not sure.
I'm convinced.
Because I feel like from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, I feel like a lot of people don't want to be there. And a lot of people might not finish. So I don't know. Like, that's why I can't really say that right now until we actually play.
I'm convinced, all right? But let's make our picks. I'm convinced.
Well, hold on. There's one more thing I want to talk about, though. See, make our picks. Hold on. I got a pick for you. Who do you think will get that AC in the West? And who do you think should get that AC?
Can I pick two teams or just one?
There's only one AC, Lino. No, you can't pick two teams.
I'm taking Memphis out. Memphis, you gone. Mm-hmm. Memphis, you gone. Mm-hmm. And as much as I want to see not Zion Williams versus LeBron, but Lonzo Ball and Ingram versus LeBron. Like,
so you're one of those people. You're one of the Pelicans people.
I want Lonzo and Ingram to get their revenge on bitch ass Kuzma. That people thought that he was the right guy instead of Ingram. I feel like
Kyle
that guy's a bum, man.
Oh, he's not a bum.
I want Ingram and Lonzo Ball, all right, to get the revenge on the Lakers. And as much as I want Lakers to get that ring as well, deep down, I wouldn't be mad if the Pelicans knock them out. And just because of Lonzo and Ingram.
So it's very interesting because you're just with the rest of these sheep. All right, you're one
really?
You're a sheeple.
I thought
a sheeple.
I thought this was breaking news. I thought nobody was saying that. Everybody's focusing on Zion.
Everybody wants the Pelicans to be in there. Doesn't matter the reason why. Oh, you have different reasons.
Yeah, I had Lonzo and Ingram reasons.
Everybody listening, he is a sheeple.
Nah.
No, sheep person.
Yeah.
I don't know what he is. You know what he is.
Yeah.
He's a sheeple. Nah. There's something interesting that somebody said about Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. That it was actually somebody, a former NBA player, and forgive me, I can't remember who actually said this or else I would credit this, but I saw it on ESPN. But anyway, they brought up a good point.
Probably Jay Williams, but go ahead.
It might have been. He usually says
pretty smart
stuff. Yeah. But he made a really good point, though. What he said was that they've been gone or they've been out of basketball for as long as an off-season takes, right? So when you have rookies going into their second year, they usually, especially the good ones, make a jump. So what the point they were making was that this is like Ja Morant's second year. So like he's learned a lot of stuff in the NBA. He's practiced more. He's put on some muscle too during the whole lockdown or whatever. So it's kind of like he's coming into his second year, even more experience. So that kind of has me thinking that, you know what, I don't want them to get the AC, and it's not because I don't like them. I really like them, and I really like Ja. He's been very impressive. Hands down Rookie of the Year. But I think he has a better shot than I was thinking before, right? That's the first thing I want to say. But as far as your prediction, though, I mean...
That's not my pick, though. I didn't answer.
I thought that was your answer.
No, my
that
answer.
That was a whole long thing about the Pelicans.
No, because I wouldn't mind. I said,
give me your answer first.
My answer is your answer.
What's my answer?
And it's Carmelo. All right.
Oh,
it's the Portland Blazer. It's Dame time. I know that's your answer too.
So you can feel like to steal my thunder.
But let's give love to Melo, man. Give him. He lost weight too. He slimmed down.
All right. I'm gonna come on you a little bit about this whole New Orleans Pelicans thing, right? Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, they are balling. They have come up. Lonzo has made some strides in this game. Brandon Ingram, my God, has balled himself into a max contract. I appreciate that, brother, right? And Zion Williamson too. Come on, like he has been great in a little bit of time he's been in the NBA. If the New Orleans Pelicans make the 8th seed and they play the Lakers or the Clippers, it's going to be a sweep. They might get one game. They might get lucky and get one game. But that is not going to be a challenge at all. But if the Portland Trailblazers, the team that was in the Western Conference Finals last year, and for the first time in about 18 months is going to be fully healthy.
And they got Melo.
And they have Melo. Gets that 8th seed. They very well can upset the Lakers.
Yeah, I know.
That is the only team that has a chance of upsetting the Lakers in that whole, bottom bracket. And not only do they have a chance, they have a really good chance.
Yeah, they do.
Lito, this team was in the Western Conference Finals without their starting center. And I don't forget who else they're missing. They're missing several players last year. Nurkic is back, and they had added Whiteside. They are big up front. They have one of the best backcourts. Bigger. They have one of the best backcourts in the NBA. They have a great bench. Melo is coming back slimmer. If he can hit some shots, who knows?
Well, he was averaging 12 a game, I think it was.
Something like
15. Like he's doing good.
Well, his field goal percentage wasn't great though.
Okay, but that's here or there, right?
No, that's actually very importantly though.
But when it matters, when the game slows down, Melo can still post up and do some work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he can. So, but you know what I hate though? Like when you look at their schedules, the Pelicans have the easiest road to the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Their schedule is so easy.
Yeah.
Right? And the NBA is doing that on purpose. They want the box office draw.
Right.
But the better series, 100% will be Blazers versus Lakers. Like LeBron, he won't admit this, but he'll be a little worried if he has to play the Blazers in the first round.
He'll be terrified. Remember, before the pandemic hit,
dropped 60 on him.
He dropped 60 on him. Yeah.
60 on him.
And he was by himself.
Thank you, Kobe. On their home court.
Melo fouled. A couple players fouled out in that game too.
Mm-hmm. No, Melo didn't. Melo wasn't in at that game. Because that was after Kobe died.
Was it?
No, that was that game that Melo wasn't at.
What's his Robin? What's his CJ McCollum?
Mm-hmm.
He fouled out, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's.
But Melo didn't play though. He stayed
Melo. Yeah, that's right. The Kobe thing.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. But but so we got Portland, both of us.
Oh, I want Portland.
But before
the NBA should want
before
Portland.
we make our prediction, because we got to wrap up this up with the Pelicans. Mm-hmm. You just say you're giving Ingram love, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he deserved the max.
100%.
Now, Joe, right now, was I right? Lakers should have kept Ingram instead of Kuzma.
No, I still don't agree with that.
Oh,
I mean, I've told you before. I'm gonna keep telling you. If Kuzma got that opportunity to shine by himself,
he can't.
The way that Ingram, then he would have been able to do that too.
He can't.
Before LeBron even got there, Kuzma was averaging nearly 20 points a game, shooting a high field goal percentage. Like Kuzma can ball. You just don't know.
I don't want to hear it.
You just don't know.
Let's just move forward. Are we making our predictions?
All right, who you got?
Here we go. Who you got in the East?
Sixers. We're not about to win a championship, right?
No. East Finals.
What? Who? The two teams make the East Finals?
Yes. Who's making the finals in the
Sixers
East?
Heat.
Sixers and Heat.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I got?
Who?
And it ain't the Sixers.
Of course not.
It's gonna be the Milwaukee Bucks.
Uh-huh.
And the Celtics, if they don't face each other in the first or second round.
But yeah, that goes.
I gotta see the seeding, but I got them too.
I mean, the seeding's not set yet. They still have 8 games to figure out seeding too.
Right.
A lot of teams, especially
that's true.
in both leagues, both conferences, it's close. So you can't really go by that.
That's my pick. I feel like Giannis in this atmosphere as well, only one court. I feel like he's gonna shine. So I got the Celtics because they're core and God Stevens, my goodness. Mm-hmm. I got the Celtics versus the Bucks in the East Finals. I'm sorry, Sixers. Y'all want a new coach. Y'all gonna get it next year, right?
Well, like I told you about the Celtics, they're probably, like, Kemba's either going to be hurt or not playing. Gordon Hayward might not be playing. I don't think the Celtics are going to go very far. They're going to be a first-round knockout. Bucks are possible, but they have the same weaknesses this year they had last year. That's going to be exploited in the playoffs, so I'm not convinced about them either. But who you got in the West?
In the West, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me think about this.
What?
Because this way, the West is the lethal one, man. I'm gonna put Denver because that's my. I like that team, man. I like that team. I got Denver versus Lakers. If the Portland doesn't get in,
Gotcha.
I got Lakers. But if Portland gets in,
No, we're not doing
then
that.
I got
No, we're
Denver.
not doing that. We're not doing that. You need to pick.
I got
No, we're not if, ands, or buts. Who you got?
because we don't know if Portland.
No.
is
You
in.
need to speak. You need to speak on your convictions.
I got Denver versus Lakers.
Okay.
I got them.
Well, I'm going to be manly, though.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the Portland Trailblazers and the LA Clippers. That's what I'm going to do.
And the Clippers?
Yes.
Okay. So who is the finals? Who's playing in the finals, man?
I've got the Sixers versus the Blazers.
Okay. And you guys gonna laugh and you might shut the podcast after this. I got Denver versus the Bucks.
All right, shut it down. Turn lights off. Shut it down. Cut.
I wish I could say the Celtics, but I have a feeling if Giannis is right there, he's gonna take it all away.
So you're saying Bucks versus
Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
Djokovic versus the Greek Freak. Jamal Murray versus I forgot the other guy's name.
Okay.
The shooter.
Yes.
What is his name?
It doesn't matter. You're wrong.
No, tell me his name.
I don't even know who we're talking
He
about.
sucked. The Milwaukee Bucks, the second guy.
Oh, Middleton?
Middleton.
Oh.
Middleton.
Yeah.
That's my
So
final.
who's going to win the championship?
Drum roll, man. Drum roll. Slim Djokovic.
All right, I got the Sixers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sixers versus who?
I have the Sixers win the championship.
Oh, versus the Clippers.
Sixers versus the Blazers in the final.
Shit.
I know what time it is.
It's Dame time, and you know what time it is? It's time to shut the mics, all right? But before we shut the mics, I do want to say, continue wearing your mask, man. Continue wearing your mask, because we're going to beat this if we continue to follow all the protocols that we have to do.
It'd be nice, because I'm really tired of sitting in the house all day.
Me too. That's a depressing goodbye, but yeah,
Hey,
it had to be said.
It's
Yeah.
the new normal.
Signing off, this is Lido.
This is Joe.
Good night.
Take care.